Hi everybody, it's Mark Mazzatenta. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be helping you strengthen your guitar skills with the topic being vibrato. So I'll give you a definition, I'll show you how to physically use vibrato, and then a lot of this will just be me playing examples without vibrato and then with vibrato, and you'll definitely hear the difference. All right, if you hear a little bit of rain and thunder, that's because there's a little storm going on right now. But the show must go on, so let's continue. So the definition that I'm going to read comes from Frederick Node's book, Solo Guitar Playing. And he says, the principal technique of the left hand for producing tonal variation is known as vibrato. The effect of this is to alter the pitch very slightly so that the note wavers, resulting in a more emotional sound. That's a good definition, right? Vibrato is something that the musician is adding, and in control of, which just makes the note waver a little bit. It's like a little wiggle or a little shake. It's not a pitch bend where you're bending something a half step or a whole step. It's not that. It's just a very slight wavering sound. Now you can increase the rate of your vibrato, how fast it goes, and kind of the depth of the wavering of the pitch. Now, if you think about violin players, you see their hand doing this, and that's a left to right vibrato, which guitar players use. That's one type, left to right. The other type is more this way on electric guitar usually, which is like from the floor to the ceiling, this kind of motion. I'll demonstrate both of those. But if you listen to flute or trumpet or violin, just to name a few, you'll hear vibrato being used a lot. Vocalists, Lady Gaga, Josh Groban, they have pretty pronounced vibratos. So the next time you listen to them, listen carefully and you'll hear that coming through very strongly. So why do we use this? You'll hear when I play some examples, but we use it because when you add vibrato, it gives kind of an emotional, energized feeling to the note. And it actually can make it sustain a little bit longer too. And for guitar, we want that. It really helps to create some depth in the tone and the sound. So let me start on the classical guitar and just demonstrate a little bit. So if I'm playing without vibrato, let me just use this note on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, an F sharp. If I just play that and I just leave my finger there, my left hand finger, without moving it, it just kind of is flat and it just decays pretty quickly. But if I add some vibrato, that left to right, it warms it up, gives it a little energy and makes it last longer. So what was I doing? I wasn't just moving my finger at one of these tip joints. I wasn't doing that. I wasn't even just moving at the wrist. I was keeping my finger pressure pretty much on the same spot, and then my whole forearm was loose, and it just wiggled back and forth a little bit. Okay, so you can see all the way down to my elbow there, it's loose. My finger's not sliding, it's trying to stay in the same spot and doing that. So it's the whole forearm. Now some guitarists even will release their thumb when they add the vibrato, like that. Okay, it's just a personal choice. Now I'm going to play that same note on the 5th string, 9th fret, where I think you can hear it even stronger. Here it is without. It's just flat. But listen to the difference when you add vibrato. As opposed to, hear how that's just dead. So classical guitar players use that quite a bit. Here's a couple of real musical examples. Here's the first phrase of Adelita by Tarrega. I'll play it first without vibrato. Now with vibrato. Now you might be surprised that I even did that on chords. But you can. You can do it on 2 notes. That's beautiful. Listen if you don't do it. Nothing happens, but so you definitely want to use it. Here's a little first phrase of a waltz by Bartolome Calatayud. I may not be saying that correctly. It's in E minor, and here's the first phrase. Without vibrato. Now with vibrato. Okay, now since this is an E minor, very typical of a lot of guitar music, you have a lot of open E's on the first string, and that is probably the worst note on the guitar. It's thin, you can't control it, it's an open string. So what I might even do is re-finger it instead of open. I might re-finger it to this so that I can add some vibrato. As opposed to how thin that is. But I could refinger the E from open to the 5th fret of the 2nd string and play it closed, so I can add vibrato. I do that quite a bit. Okay, switching to the electric guitar now, you're going to see a different kind of vibrato. On the electric, when you listen to people like Steve Vai or B.B. King, you know, Steve Vai talks about kind of a circular motion for the vibrato. B.B. King talks about trilling his hand, calls that a trill, although that word is used in a different way. They're talking about vibrato that's up and down, okay, from the floor to the ceiling. So the hand is doing more of like turning a doorknob kind of a motion, like that. So you can hear really clearly, no vibrato with vibrato. So I'm using a couple of fingers behind my third finger just to have the strength to control wavering that string. Okay. Now, if you do it with your first finger, obviously there's no fingers behind here to help you. So you just have to kind of push and pull. Okay, same thing. It looks like this. The thumb is kind of over the top of the fingerboard a little bit. And that also can give you control. Okay, now you can increase the speed, or you can decrease the speed. That's all up to the player. All right, so let me play a couple of examples. Here's the song Europa by Santana. I will play it without vibrato. Okay, I don't think anyone would play it like that. It's just because those phrases just sit there and they're not doing anything, and it's not interesting and it's not expressive. So with a little vibrato, you can really change that, and it's on the long notes. So if I'm jamming, you're not going to see me adding vibrato on fast eighth note runs. There's no time, and you're not going to hear it anyway. So it's usually used on the longer duration notes, like these. Now he'll do even more to that. So besides adding vibrato, you can add a lot more ornaments, like something like this. That's fun, and that's way more expressive. All right, so let's do one more example. And for this example, I'm going to use just a C blues. All right, so I'm just going to use a 12-bar blues in the key of C, do a little improvising. And you'll notice when I'm just sitting on a longer note, I'll probably add vibrato. Here we go. everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. I really hope that you use a lot of vibrato in your playing. It's going to make it more expressive. And I will see everybody at the next video. Thanks for watching.